What's your plan for life? Better question? What's your plan B? Or your plan C? Never thought of those, did you? That's alright. Most people don't. See, life is something we're all going through. And once we reach a mature enough age, we're going to have our own plans and our own hopes and our own dreams. We're going to do what we can to achieve them. But that doesn't always mean that our original plan is the plan that we're going to go through with. Life will throw curveballs at you. Life has its ups and downs, and you can never be prepared exactly for what life has handed for you. That's a lesson my father learned the hard way. See, my father reached his plan A. He was living his dream until life threw him a curveball that changed his plans forever. My dad's curveball was something that scares a lot of people. Disease. 2007, my father was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, or in shorter terms, MS. MS is an autoimmune disease where your own immune system eats away at the protective coverings of nerves. And MS, it has no cure. It can be controlled, but it's hard because MS affects everybody differently. Your doctors are never going to be able to look at you and say, these are your list of symptoms, because they don't know what nerves are going to be attacked first. And that's what scared my dad the most. See, my dad's plan A was to go to the Army and serve his country as an MP, and he fought for that plan. Little background of that plan: he wasn't strong in school. He didn't like school. He didn't care for school. He loved helping people, and he loved teaching people, but he never liked the whole learning aspect, which is kind of a catch-22, because how are you supposed to help or teach people if you never learn? But he found his way that he could learn. And when he did, he put that to work. See, my dad knew he wanted to help people and serve for his country. And so he taught himself through his ASVAB. He studied hard, harder than he's probably ever studied. And then when he went and took his ASVAB, and they told him MS or MP was not on the list for him to work, he looked them in the face. All the recruiters that were all trying to convince him to pick a job, and said, no, y'all can call me when MP is open. And he walked away. He left. He could have had a job on that day, but he fought for his plan A. Well, shortly afterwards, they came back to him. They're like, here's your MP job. So he went in to basic training. He worked hard, and he got his dream job. And then he climbed the ladder and became a really, really respected MP. And he got to teach classes. He got to teach the newer MPs. He got to help them understand their job. He was living his dream until 2007, when he was hit with one of the scariest moments of his life. 2007 was when my dad was diagnosed. He was filled with fear of the unknown. See, he knew what MS was because his mom had it, which actually is pretty rare, because MS skips a generation when it passes down, because it's genetically passed. Most of the time, it skips a generation. And even more of the time, MS is passed from mother to daughter. So my dad never saw MS as a problem, because the little he did know, he knew there's no chance I'm going to get it. It's got to skip a generation, and I'm a guy. It can't get me, but it did. So he's terrified. He hasn't done his research. He doesn't know what this disease is going to do to him. But after research, he starts to calm down. He realizes he can control his MS. He's never going to know how it's going to affect him. He's just going to have to learn and roll with the punches that it throws at him throughout his life, because he can't decide what nerves its MS is going to attack. He's just got to go with MS. He has to live his life with MS by his side for the rest of his life. But in 2008, that fear was turned to anger. In 2008, the military told my dad he could no longer serve due to his MS. He was forced to medically retire. And so his fears of not knowing what's going to happen turned to anger. He felt like he was letting everyone in his life down. He was letting his soldiers down because he was no longer there to guide them and to teach them and help them grow. He was letting his family down because he was losing his job and didn't know where to go next. He was angry because his dream job was taken away from him. So what other jobs would MS take? And how hard was this going to become? And for years, he fought to stay around the military. And those years are the crucial years where my dad learned that not only did he like the action of being an MP, did he like being in the field, chasing down the bad guys, working the traffic accidents, dealing with the crazy people. That wasn't all part of the rush for him, the part that made him happy. Through those years of battling to stay with the military, he got to teach classes to MPs that he had no idea who they were. He just got to go in and he got to teach them and give them his advice from when he was an MP. One of his favorite classes to teach was his IED class. He went in and he taught these kids how to deal with IEDs when they go overseas. So in those crucial years, he found out teaching and helping other people grow was also something about being an MP or being in the military that gave him such a high. He loved helping people. He loved watching people grow. So he battled long and hard, and he got comfortable in his new reality and decided he was going to take his passion one step further. 2011, my dad decided that he was done just helping out at the youth group. He was done just teaching people about IEDs and other parts of the military. He wanted to become a full-on teacher. So in 2011, he focused himself on getting his degree in teaching. And in 2015, my dad became a teacher. See, life throws curveballs. You're going to have a plan A, but life can change that. Life can take that from you. And my dad very well could have sat down and said, screw it, I'm done. Life just took away my dreams. But he didn't. He got up and he built his plan B that he didn't know he was going to need around his new reality with MS. And now he has found his new dream, a new job that gives him so much joy, so much hope. He's a second grade teacher, and he couldn't be happier. He also still gets to go and help at the youth group and help with sports camps. He understands his MS. He taught himself his MS. And he's aware that the longer it's there, the hardest his struggles are going to get. But he's not going to let them break him down. Because he's realized now that just because he lost his plan A and just because he could lose his plan B doesn't mean that he can't pick up the broken pieces that MS is leaving him with and build a new plan. That's why, growing up, I was always thankful that my dad experienced this. Of course it hurt and it broke me to watch my dad struggle with MS and watch his dreams get crushed. But it taught me a lesson. He taught me a lesson. He pounds it in my head to this day. Have a plan B. Know where you're going to run if a storm hits. So, I'll leave you with a few words of his own wisdom. You can look at me. You can look at anyone. You can look at him. And you're never going to know the struggles they're facing. All you can do is keep moving forward. Life is going to hit you like a rock. Life hits everyone like a rock at some point or another. But get up. Keep going. It's not over. Even if you have to get to plan Z, you're going to make it. As long as you keep fighting for you and keep fighting for your passions. And whether you're directly affected by or in your passions, or you have to find a side bridge like my father did. It's life. You have to live it the best you can.